And just say good morning, beautiful team, and welcome to our Sunday, February 23rd. It's our last hangout for February. Crazy, hey? And I will stop my music, and we will get things rocking and rolling. So I don't really have any announcements. We have free starting March 2nd, which I will try and get organized this week. I have the banner and everything ready, so I'll set up all of that in the team group. We have Fit Club. Hopefully everyone is inviting to a March 2nd start date as well. What else? Will be a coach info session on March 9th. If you want to be getting coaches and stuff talking about that, we'll have that ready for you. It's the last week for Team Cup, so those of you that are on Team Cup. And I did put a bunch of Unfold photos for a call to action. If you want to use them, feel free. You can always just write over it and it will delete like where it says, because it's like I talk about this is me, right? And obviously that's not you. So yeah, I think that's kind of it for this morning. Working on this, I had a pretty good week. I will say I had a pretty good week, but lots of conversations, and I just think that's it. One thing that is working really, really well for me is the going back to people that I've talked to in the past and said, hey girl, I know it's like super, I say weird. I know it's super weird jumping into the unknown with virtual friends. So what I did is I created a document that has 9 free sample workouts attached to it. So I always talk about it, even though I didn't create the document. Would you be interested in trying some of them out? I would love your feedback. And so that's been awesome. And then the cool thing about that with conversations on Instagram is that you can't send the PDF over Instagram. You can in Facebook, you can actually upload files into a message in Facebook, but on Instagram you can't. So then you are forced to email them, right?
I've been sending it to them over Instagram, and
Really?
It works. Yeah, I copy it, I send it through, and the link pops up, and I like make sure I check it. So like on their messaging, it's better that you get their emails. But yeah. I push it, and it goes to it sends me right to the workout. So
okay, that's good to know. I just have been saying because on Instagram you can't send a file. So,
yeah. Well, that's
so that for me is a great way to get someone's email address, right?
Yeah.
So, but good to know. Thanks, Jasmine. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it builds a lot of trust, right? Because people then have the chance to try the workout. So I know when Margot clicked on it once, it asked her for like coach information. Everyone who I have sent it for said they didn't need to fill anything out. They literally just clicked on it and the workout played. So I do send them my coach information in the message saying, if it asks you for it, here it is. But for the most part, everyone that I've sent it to hasn't had to put any information in. They've just clicked and it pops up. So I think it's a really cool tool to use that for sure. Other than that, I don't really have anything to share. So let's just go through questions, comments, concerns, things like that. Things you want to chat about today.
Okay.
Who's going first?
I will. And this is not really unrelated, but unrelated. So I was at a friend's in Seattle yesterday, and she has a Peloton bike. So I thought it'd be very cool to A, try it, and B, just sort of see what that platform looks like, just because I think the knowledge is valuable. I don't know if anyone on this group has actually tried a Peloton workout. Is anyone? No? Anyway, so it's interesting because it has boot camps, it has yoga, it has like kind of all the stuff we have with obviously the additional part that we don't have, which is the cycling. So I've downloaded the app to try to look at for 30 days, just to look at their workouts. And honestly, I have to say our stuff is just like so much better. So if you come across people that, you know, well, I got the Peloton, unless they're an indoor cyclist, like unless they're specifically, that's the only reason they really want it. But when you look at all the other workouts in it, like they have boot camps and they have all the rest of it, but there's no progression. And I think that's the one thing that we, as Beachbody, having the Beachbody on Demand, offer over all the other platforms that I've seen, whether it's YouTube or Beachbody or Les Mills on Demand, is we don't, none of them offer progression. And so it was interesting just to look at the Peloton platform. Looks cool and all the rest of it, but I'd say when it comes to off the bike, from what I could see, Beachbody on Demand just knocks it out of the park. Even the quality of just the way the moves are coached and explained, and just I thought it was just an interesting comparison. So I'd share that.
That's awesome. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Do you almost sometimes feel like, and I know it would make it so that a lot of people couldn't get started, but do you almost feel like it's too cheap what we offer?
Yeah, and somebody mentioned that on one of the calls that we just listened to. I can't remember who it was, and they said exactly that it's almost like it's too cheap. It's because like Peloton is $3,000 to get the bike.
Yeah.
$12.99 a month for the subscription, because you can kind of use the subscription and go to the gym or ride the bike. You wouldn't get all the metrics that you would on a Peloton bike. But it's like, we are so freaking cheap when you realize what we get. And so it's almost like, does that just make it like, well, how good is it if it's only like $100 a year? You know, so I kind of think there is, I can't remember what coach did a call on that, and she did say, I hate to say it, but I feel like we're too cheap and people don't take us as seriously.
Yeah, I think that's what it is they don't really believe, well, like, yeah, okay, it's $200 for if you're in Canada, right, to get started. But they don't really know and understand yet that it's that $200 is going to, like you said, progress them through a fitness program, which then they can do a different fitness program. And then it's like you constantly have a personal trainer with you. I think back to when I was working out in the gym, and I was going probably 5 days a week because I was also running at the time. And I literally had 3 workouts that I repeated every 1, 2, 3, day off, 1, 2, 3, day off, 1, 2, 3. Like, that's all I did. Yeah. The only difference was my cardio. One time it was running, one time it was the stepper. Like, there was nothing that I progressed in, nothing that I grew in, nothing to, it felt great to go work out, but nobody was there like challenging me to up my weights. Nobody was there to teach me like a different move.
Yeah.
Right?
Or even technique.
Yeah.
Yeah, technique.
Like, that's like the biggest difference for me was like, oh, like, I have progression. I have someone there teaching me this every single day, you know, and my form and all this, you know, and it made the biggest difference for me, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and I think the other thing, sorry, Laura, go ahead.
No, that was Ashley.
Oh, Ashley. Sorry, Ashley. Go ahead.
You're fine.
And I think that's the thing, that being a personal trainer, I mean, I get it. I mean, people pay me to train them. But the thing is, they are paying because they need to show up to a gym. And I think it's not my workouts are by any stretch any better, or even maybe they're, depending on the person, they're more item or whatever you want to say, personalized, because they've got issues and I have to work with that. But when it comes to just like a kick-ass workout and the programs that Beachbody, that's all I use. And even my girlfriend says, she goes, I got to do it. I got to see what you're doing, because like, she goes on the Peloton 5-6 days a week. And she looked at me and she's like, you're so lean. I'm like, yeah, it's because of muscle building and not just cardio. And that's what, you know, there's no program in Beachbody on Demand that is just strictly cardio for a reason.
Cardio doesn't lead to, cardio leads to being like skinny fat almost. It's like just lean, but you still have that jiggle to you. Whereas building muscle takes away that, like, that jiggly little fat that you have that cardio can't do. It's not the same. I was working out in the gym. I was working on the gym for 2 hours at a time. I was following this program, and I didn't see the results that I see with Beachbody I've been on it for since January. I've been working out, and I wouldn't have seen the change I've had in my body at the gym and doing my own thing. It's not the same. And I was really quite not against it, but thought working out at home was so silly or whatever. Like, oh, you can't get the same results working out at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you totally can. And I'm not driving half an hour to the gym because I live in the country, so it didn't make sense for me.
Yeah, Clarissa and I totally had the mentality that we were just going to continue doing what we already did because of the sissy home workouts. And then we did the home workouts and we're like, okay, maybe these aren't so sissy. Right?
No, they're hard.
So yeah, it's really remarkable. What if you know what I think would be really cool is if we had like a running document in the team group where we could share the objections that we get.
Yeah.
Right? Because then we could all like, so I don't mind, I can make it and it'll be something that everyone can edit and add to, because then it would be cool to like put points underneath of it of why that objection doesn't exist.
Yeah,
right?
that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And then you can like, say you're struggling with something to talk about one day on social media, you just go and grab one of those points and you're only really talking about one at a time. But just thinking about the price component of it, right? And like maybe there are people that are like, oh, it's $200. I'm not going to get results with $200. How am I going to get results with $200?
Yeah.
Right? Because we're so like in this mindset of,
You need to spend a lot of money to get results.
Yeah, you have to spend, and
or
like,
that it's too expensive, or that it's too. People are like, oh man, like $200, like that's quite a bit of money, because they're giving it to something they're not sure about, which makes it, seem like a lot of money. But the thing is, an average gym membership is like anywhere to $500 to more a year, and then you have to make up all your own stuff, and it's hard.
Well, and are you going and you're paying gas, and if you have kids, are you having to pay for child minding, and right? Like my kids hated child minding. Hated. Like, so then throw on the mom guilt to that, right? Because then I'm feeling guilty that I'm not spending time with them because I'm working out, but I'm also taking them to this place that they absolutely hate. So yeah, it's just like, for me, such a no-brainer. Okay, so I'm gonna work on like just a document, and it will be totally rough. Like, don't worry about, and I want everyone to be able to edit it. Just on objections.
I'm so excited we're talking about this, because I've been wanting to engage more on this whole aspect of, the gym and the cost, and, what you're really getting out of it versus, what you're not motivated about when you're at the gym, what stops you, that whole obstacle. So want to get more engagement with that for sure.
Ashley and Brittany, could I make an unfold of the before and afters that you guys had sent me then, and post it on the Cougars team, is so that they can use those pictures as well?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that then.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That just it got me thinking like how closed-minded some people are. We watched my daughter. So my oldest she's never really loved school, and this year she's in grade 11, and she's taking kinesiology and health sciences, and she is doing so incredibly well. She started looking into like becoming a nutritionist and like where she would go to do that, and all of those things. So in one of her classes, they watched the movie Game Changers. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
It is so good. So I know there's two, because one of them is about like kind of the dairy industry or the cattle industry, and how like it's using up so much water and blah 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 and polluting and all of that. This one's different. This is the one where it talks about plant-based athletes, and how it was really cool, like really, really cool. And of course you can find whatever you're looking for. If you want that answer, you're going to find that answer. If you want a different answer, you're going to find that answer. So I definitely don't have the like mentality of one way is the right way. I think that we learn and we grow, and we are open to different ideas. And this guy's like, he was the ultimate fighter, right? The guy who did the movie. And so he was talking about his experience going plant-based, and how he was like, Arnold Schwarzenegger ate how many steaks a day and is now completely plant-based. Right. And so it was all these different studies that they did. It was really cool. But we went over to my mom's last night and we're talking about it. Oh my God, my mom was so closed. She was like, I am not eating a burger that is made out of plants, and then pretending that burger tastes good. And both Shane and I were just like, okay, this conversation is going nowhere, but so close, right? And I'm like, okay, why are you so close to just like the idea? Maybe 2 days a week you go plant-based. Maybe 3 days a week you go plant-based. Nobody's saying that you need to eat a plant-based diet, Mom. We just said that we really liked the science behind it, but we come across that all the time in, you know, what we're doing. And maybe that's why someone is like, $200? How am I going to get results out of $200? Like, I just started playing with all these scenarios in my head. But really good movie. I really recommend it. It was on Netflix, so game changers. All right, who else?
I kind of, when it comes to, you know, engaging with people and having a conversation, I don't know where I can fit in there, you know, like how, you know, you talk about, okay, what are some things, you know, that are challenges for you that you're wanting to work on and stuff. I don't know how to really integrate into like, well, have you ever tried, you know, like a program or something? Like, I don't know how to go about it. We're like, hey, there's this fit group, you know, that we have, and, you know, you can order this or not. Well, you can get like this challenge pack and then you can be part of this group. I don't know how to like really just kind of slide that in there smoothly where it's, you know, not like, hey, get this, do that.
Yeah, no,
you know?
for sure. So I guess it would depend, for me, my question then would be, it would depend on where this conversation started, right?
Yeah.
Because if the conversation started on a poll in your story where they're saying, I want more info, then you're going to say it's literally that easy. They've voted and they've said. But I always say to them in that first message, something really simple like, thanks so much for voting on my story. So grateful for you following along on our journey. I see that you voted about our upcoming Fit Club group. Are you looking for more information, or was it an accidental thumb tap? Either way is totally fine. I just didn't want to miss the chance to chat with you if you are interested. Right? So it gives them the, like, they will reply to that message because they know that you're not just like trying to barf on them. And it gives them the chance to be like, oh, I just accidentally hit it. But then you're gonna start seeing their name more and more and more and more and more, right? I've noticed that just in our conversations on Instagram that people now, you know, offering that 9 free workouts, they're like, yeah, I was really interested in information, but didn't know how to go about it, right? But you're giving them so many different options. So if they're coming from a poll or a post where you've done an actual call to action, then the conversation for me is a simple one, right? You send them a message. I saw that you voted on my story about blah, 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 or I saw that you commented on my post about blah, blah, blah. Were you looking for more information, or was it you're just sending some virtual love? Either way is totally cool. I just didn't want to miss the chance to chat with you. If it's more of a like generic kind of post where you're just kind of reaching out to invite, I would say something like, I don't know if you saw in my stories about my upcoming Fit Club group. We're going to be, for March, our focus is melting down bad habits, melting down, you know, things like that. Are you interested in more information? I would love to chat with you if you are. Like, don't make it feel like you're just sending them 2 or 3 sentences. It's not like it's, you know, I saw your name in my story. Right. Wanted to reach out to say thanks, but also curious if you saw about my upcoming March group. Every month we run kind of a themed Fit Club, and I'd love to chat with you more. Are you looking to work on any wellness goals? Like, just make it simple like that. And then in a message like that, because it's not coming from a call to action, you might not get a reply, but they're going to be watching you more. And if there's someone that are actually having a conversation with, then I put them in my follow-up list, and I will follow up with them in like 2 weeks, you know? And I try to make sure that it's not the same message every time. Sometimes I will then, instead of messaging them, I'll actually go to their feed and start commenting on some of their pictures, and that's my follow-up. Instead of me sending them a message, it's actually like, hey, I'm here, because then they're going to start looking at our stuff. So I would just do something like that on a more generic post. Yeah. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Does it help?
Yeah, it did. It kind of reassured things I've kind of already started doing. I just wasn't sure if like that was the, you know, good way to go about it, really. But
I think the biggest thing here is, how would you want to be messaged?
Yeah.
Right? Because you're messaging Ashley from when you started. That's who you're messaging, right?
Mhm.
Clarissa is messaging Clarissa from when she started. Jasmine is messaging Jasmine from when she started, right? That's who we are reaching out to, is those people. I'm messaging
Right.
you from however many years ago, and speaking to that person. So how would you in that situation want to receive the message? I would want the message like the one I'm sending, where I give them kind of the out of it and say, like, no worries, it's totally fine either way. I just didn't want to miss chatting with you if you are interested, right?
Yeah.
I would want that, because then I would reply to it. Knowing myself, I would reply to that message, because it's a total legit, like, human connection message. It's not,
Yeah.
hey girl, join my boot camp, you'd be amazing. You know, I saw a post on Facebook the other day where someone actually commented on a girl's transformation picture saying, it was so awful. It was like, you still have lots to lose, you should join my boot camp. Like, it was so bad that I was like, oh my gosh, how you actually, like, look how far she's come.
Mm-hmm.
But they just like slammed. You really think she's gonna join you? And then the girl actually replied, it's okay, I'm happy being fat, or something, like, and then blocked the person. And I was like, holy cow. Like, nobody has taught you, if you speak to someone like that, are they really ever gonna trust you? Like, it was brutal. So just talk to you from, you know, a year ago to, yeah. That's
Okay.
what,
One way I do it as well is, if it's just a conversation, then I will say to them, like, hey, if you've been following along on my story and you've seen my transformation, this is what I'm doing. And then you can kind of tie in, you know, then there's your tie in to your programs and your camp and your nutrition and stuff. Then you can tie it in, because you're like, if you've been following along and if you've seen them follow along on your story, they've seen your transformations, they're asking, or you're talking to them for a reason. So then I would say to them, like, this is what I'm doing. Now you have the opening to explain it, because they've already been watching what you're doing. So you just have to be like, this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm offering to you. And if you want to be a part of it, here's our boot camp. You can get started whenever, March 2nd.
Right. Okay.
that's awesome. Who is next?
Margot's very quiet.
I know she is. Her and Kim are not very quiet though, because they've been chatting up a storm, just not with us. Right?
We have been focused on this. We have been talking, but I said to her, stop talking to me. We're going to get in trouble.
We're gonna get in trouble. Yeah, teacher Tamara in the house here, right?
Well, we listen to you, and every time you
Now
come
you're
up with
muted.
a point, we talk about it. Huh?
No, you were muted there. You're good. I heard you.
Okay.
I hear you now.
Yeah, no, you were saying something. Can we go back to the very beginning of this call?
Yeah.
Just because sometimes you speak a different social media language than Margot understands.
Okay.
And you said something at the very beginning, I'm going to give you an unfold something. What the hell is that?
Okay, so Unfold is an app that I use on my phone. And so what I did, if you go to
Oh, I've got it. Yeah, you
I
put it
gave
on
you
my-
guys all these pictures that I made on Unfold,
They're comparative pictures.
right? So that you can do a call to action in your stories. On this last one, you would want to put a poll in it, right? So when you go to your actual story, you add a poll. And how excited am I that in Canada, we finally have frickin' Instagram music. Hello.
Oh, wow.
Hello. I
that's
could
cool.
not believe that when I went on there. I was like, wait a minute, because I'm on this plan where if I'm like, when it shows I use this company called Freedom. And so if I'm on Freedom, it shows Freedom. And then if it says nationwide, sometimes that's what I get when I'm in the US. So I was like, oh, maybe it's picking up that I'm in the US right now. So then I came home to check and I was like, oh my gosh, we have Instagram music in Canada. So that's been really fun. But so on this one, you're actually going to add a poll.
Wait, stop.
Yeah.
Because aren't you not allowed to do a swipe up or a poll or whatever if you don't have more than 2,000 followers or something?
No, swipe up is 10,000 followers. Poll, you can have 1 follower.
Yeah.
Oh, and then so you create a poll, and they respond to it. Where does that go?
So in your actual story.
That you create on Unfold?
No, I sent you all of those, so you can just do what you want with them.
Okay.
Right? So when you go to put it in your Instagram story.
Yeah.
Right? So I click on the picture.
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah.
It's taking a long time to load. So I'm going to just click on this one here, which I really liked because I thought this guy was funny. He says, it's before, not before. We speak English, not Bitmoji, or not bingo. I was like, that's awesome. So now this is in my story, but I haven't uploaded it to my story. So I'm going to go to the little face guy at the top.
Okay.
Not the round face, the square face. I click on him and I go to poll. And then there's the poll. And then I change the words. I never use the ask a question thing. I just change the words on here.
Okay, yeah.
So, and I never give the option of no. Because why do I want to give that option?
No, okay.
It's just a terrible option. So one of them today was, I'm so ready. And the other one was, I need more info. So then someone votes on it. And when you go back to your story, so if I go through to my story and I go to one where I have a poll, blah, 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 blah. So somebody has voted. So in the actual story, you then swipe up and it brings you to the insights and it tells you who voted on it. And then you message the person.
Okay.
And it does the same thing on Facebook. When you load these into your Facebook stories, you will get votes on your story on Facebook.
Okay, so we can use the poll. Is there anything else that we can use that for people that are dumbasses?
The only thing you can't use is swipe up. The only thing you can't use is swipe up. That's it. You can use every other thing in there.
Okay.
For swipe up, you need 10,000 followers.
I think also for the swipe up part, if you because I was researching it, if you go and do like a live Instagram video, then it'll let you, if you do at least one live Instagram video, then it'll let you do the swipe up option.
Oh, that's cool. So do you have to do it every single time in your story, or just make sure you've done one live?
I think you just have to do at least one live Instagram video. And then it'll let you.
Very cool. So then swipe up would go to like your Google form.
Right.
So that you get their email address.
Let me just write that down.
Thanks, Brittany. That was good to know. I love learning new things.
And Margot, if you're ever having trouble with anything, just message us in our groups and any of us can help you as well too, right? Like,
I get embarrassed about messaging.
Don't be embarrassed. My mom asks me stuff all the time. Just ask,
we ask
right? We ask stupid stuff, or not even stupid stuff. We have to learn about it. So you just have to ask it, right? It's not stupid. Any question's a good question.
Because you never know whoever else is asking, wondering, but afraid to ask.
Exactly.
Be that brave person, Margot Golly.
Yeah. Of course.
It's hard because you guys like, this stuff is so new. Like, I'm so new to Facebook and like I have trouble with that, and like I shouldn't, but I never used it. So don't feel embarrassed. There's no point to. It's just gonna hold you back from your potential. So
right.
You're wise beyond your years, Jasmine.
She most certainly is. She most certainly is. Clarissa, I think you should share what's going on with your dad, because this message you just typed in here is not, it's kind of out of the blue, and he is working really hard. Well,
no, because Jasmine, congratulations to your dad. I saw the transformation. He's looking amazing. So that's why I said that. No, my dad was a little bit lost. He gets really lost with the containers and everything. But he was sharing that he did the ultimate reset, and even like what's gonna fall in Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day, the last days. And he was telling me that he didn't care about the food. He was like, no, I'm gonna focus on my nutrition and that's it. So everyone was like making like the huge plates, eating desserts and everything, and he really like, stuck to his diet, his cleansing diet. And now that I got here, he said, okay, I'm not losing weight anymore. I'm kind of like stuck. So what should I do? And I said, because of the containers are very difficult. I tried so many times. I like made lists. I left containers for him. They like play with the containers, give to the kids to play. And I was like, okay, that's not working. So I totally thought like be mindset would be easy for him, because then you kind of like visualize your plate, and then they eat a lot out. And here basically like we go to restaurants that you serve yourself and like set your plate. You don't order a la carte. So I was kind of like teaching him how to visualize his plate for lunch and dinner. So, and now he's like losing weight again. He's losing 300 grams. I don't know how much that is.
Max, hold on.
300 a day. We're going to take a
Max
picture.
has to go. Get 1 sec. Smile, okay. Everybody, because Max has to go. There we go. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, carry on.
Bye, Max.
Bye.
So my dad now is losing 300 grams a day. That's the average weight loss that he's having, because he now is like visualizing the food on the plates, especially for lunch and dinner. And I told, what are you having for breakfast? And he said, oh, I'm having oatmeal and bread. And he was used to have also milk. So I said, okay, you're having 3 carbs. So now he's choosing 1 carb for breakfast. And plus I'm making him drink his water. I gave him like a Shakeology cup. So he's drinking that half an hour water first, like to be mindset, right? So he's drinking that water before his meals, and that's why now he's losing again, and he's like super excited.
That's good.
My mom does the
So
when
he gets to the weight that he's happy at, then he can add more fruits, because he loves fruits, and he can add another carb either for lunch or for dinner. And then I said, see how your body goes with that, right? Because he's older, and then you're gonna be at your happy weight. It's kind of like the maintenance. That's how you do it. And he's super happy because he's off all the meds that he was with for high blood pressure. So it's like his health is amazing. So he's gonna see his doctor, and he's gonna say that he lost all this weight, and his high blood pressure is actually like low now. So he's really, really, really happy. And my dad is like that. He stopped someone at the park, like, oh, I used to have a bed like yours, and like I did this, and now he's gonna be an amazing for our team when it actually comes to Brazil, because he just stops people in the street to say that I used to have a big bed like yours.
Yeah, that's good.
She messages me the other day, and she's like, my dad was rubbing some guy's belly at the park saying, I used to have a belly like this, but I did this program that my daughter has, and now look at me. And I was like, oh my gosh.
That's adorable.
He's so happy. He's
awesome.
So happy. He's like, he has the joy that we have with our results. Yeah, he's so happy.
That's so good. So good. All right, who else? Anyone else have questions, things that we can go over? That was a big, deep breath in.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of any questions I have, but I don't know. I know they come up during the week, but maybe I should learn how to write them down.
That's why we have to be able to ask them. So, yeah.
No,
Then I add something that I do, Ashley, regarding your question, that I do when I'm talking to people and I don't know where to insert. Usually I ask where they're from, or we go through the message that Tamara sent. Oh, thank you so much for the love on our stories, or whatever it was what the person voted or not. And then I like to go and start asking where are they from, and then I say where are we from, that we like to travel, and until then I get when they share whatever they want to share, and then I ask, are you also into health and fitness like us? And then they share something, and then from there I can go, are you working on any fitness goals. And then sometimes they send me like a big page, and I was like, okay, let me read this. I said, thanks for sharing. And then I go, would you like to, and I can say about our next boot camp or accountability group. And then I go from there. But I ask that, are you also into health and fitness like us? And I think that's not awkward, right? Because if they're following us.
No, I like that. I just wrote that down.
What's that? Wrong Wi-Fi. My internet connection is always unstable, apparently. So crazy. I just hit Success Club, Clarissa.
Yay!
Good job.
She just messaged me, so I think I sent her original share cart in May. And she.
Woo! Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's
I went to
the
high school.
power of the follow-up.
Yeah. Well, and tons of resources, right? Throughout the, months of chatting with her that I've sent her tons of resources, checking in, seeing how she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And I mean, it's like that for most people. On
me.
So, right?
No, and I think some people, they have to watch what we do because they don't believe. I was one, like, I'm going to buy something off the internet and it's going to work. I was always very closed about purchases online. So for me to have something virtual was very, very like, okay, what is that?
Yeah. Well, how many months did
I get it.
Jasmine for? From July, pretty regularly from July until December.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
like,
some people, they need to watch.
Right? Yeah.
I was just, there was way too much going on in my life for me to commit to anything.
Turn your Bluetooth off, please. All of a sudden, I'm like, what am I listening to? It's his little stereo that I use. My tech guy for my laptop isn't back until April. So until then, the sound on my laptop is horrible. So I have to use like some sort of stereo to.
How do we use the Instagram music? I'm gonna ask a question because like I have.
It's in the that same place where you do a poll. It should say music.
Okay, I'm just gonna look right now. Where is it for you?
My music thing on my Instagram was gone for like a few months. So I actually had to contact Instagram and tell them that I didn't have it. And then like a week later, it popped up again.
Yeah, because Defs don't have it.
Because I didn't have it for a while. And then all of a sudden one day, like I had it. Or like I had to restart my phone and it was there. It'll be one of the options in there. It'll just say music.
Or sometimes you have to like uninstall the app completely and then like reinstall it.
Oh, okay.
I've done that before in the past too, where I log out, uninstall. You should actually, one thing that I found out is Instagram stores massive data on your phone too. So when we were away in November, my Instagram was taking up 15 gigabytes on my phone. I was like,
for sure.
Wow. How is Instagram taking up 15 gigabytes? So I didn't do it when we were away because I was too scared that I was gonna like not be able to log back in or something. So I waited until I got home and then I logged out, deleted the app, and then reinstalled the app, logged back in, and it was normal again, like a reasonable amount rather than taking up 15 gigabytes of data on your phone. So it might be something too that you do that as well.
Okay, I'll try to do that today then.
But the other thing I heard that Instagram is testing out is the ability to message from your desktop. So,
yeah. That would be nice, man.
Yeah. So I know like in my Facebook, I can actually, have you guys ever done that where you go to your Facebook page and you can see the messages?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In there. So, but I find them hard to manage in there and they don't always show up and then they don't, so I don't really like it. But I noticed on one of our Instagram accounts, because sometimes I've had a hard time getting IGTV videos to load on my phone, and you can load an IGTV video from your laptop on Instagram. You just can't load it like a post or anything. And I noticed on one of our accounts that it actually has the direct messaging on it. So that account was, not that we really use that account, but that account was one that they're testing to be able to direct message from which would be absolutely amazing to be able to do that. I had one extension on my laptop that was called Zoom for a long time that I used, but it constantly made everything crash. So I stopped using it because of that. We also got this, which for $20 on Amazon, you can just get a Bluetooth keyboard. So, because I'm not one to do this. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Plus, I find my eyes get messed up.
Yes.
On there, right? So, yeah. Anyone else? Anything else to go over? I will have the free group ready, cover photo up today so that we can post in there. Obviously, I'm sure that most people on the call are willing to help out. I was literally just going to do like a kind of refocus. So like one day could be a fitness refocus. One day could be a nutrition, like when I say refocus, I mean like, how do we almost like how would you rate your current fitness right now? You know, you had a goal going into January of how many workouts a week, and so how have you committed to that on a scale of 1 to 10? What's your rate? What can you do on that fitness day? What can we do to improve your how you're rating yourself so that you can continue on a positive trend instead of doing this year, right? And then a nutrition focus, and then a mindset focus, and then, you know, each day can be a kind of different focus where we're assessing where we're at, and then what can we do to keep that momentum up or improve, right?
So the posts would be like self-assessments each day on a different topic, pretty much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a good time of year to do that for sure.
Yeah, spring cleaning, renewing. Yeah.
Well, and being 2 months, you know, you've got January and February now under your belt. Are you on track to reaching your goals, right? Are you on track to getting there when it comes to December? So a lot of people don't do that, where they kind of self-assess. So that's kind of the theme for this one. And I'll have that ready sometime this week.
Yeah, as for fitness goals, it's crazy how fast the weight came off for me personally, because like it was just like, holy crap, like I wasn't expecting to like already show like abs in my stomach after only like working out for like a month and a half maybe.
Yeah.
Like almost 2 months, but that's about it. Like that's
I think
crazy.
there's this real massive misconception that you need to have hours and hours and hours in the gym.
Yeah, and like so many of my friends, like that's such a fad right now, is like being in the gym and going to the gym and like doing this stuff, and it's like, dude, like
you're spending more time doing this in the gym than you are actually doing anything.
Or doing this, you know.
Or looking up workouts, like looking on like Instagram or looking on YouTube, like, oh, what workout should I do? What workout should I do? And then it's like, because I know I was doing that. I would look on Pinterest and be like, oh, okay, like arm workouts, and I'd look up different arm workouts, and then I would go through them. But like, what a waste of time when you're in there. And like, I was in the gym for like 2 hours at a time, like do my cardio, do my like weight training and stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever, and it's such a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Which is why I was so glad we talked about this earlier, about the whole gym and home workout aspect, and you know what the big difference is and how it's impacted each one of us differently, for sure.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Well, ladies, if nobody has anything else, I'm gonna sign off. Are we good? I will tag you all in the post.
Oh, one thing maybe for the March meltdown, could one of the posts be kind of like our before and afters and a testimony inside of it, like of how it went? Maybe like the last post of the day, we could each make up our own testimony and kind of say
for that
like,
free group. Yeah, that would be amazing.
For the free group, just being like, this is who I am, this is when I got started a little bit, and just like then show the before and afters that we've had. And
yeah, and I think that's so to touch on our stories then too, because we're all going to bring in different elements, like of why this has worked so well for us. You know, Margot's is going to be different than yours. It's going to be different than mine. And I think it would be super amazing to do that.
Maybe that's something we can all start working on, because it'll be the last post of our whatever day we have, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I love it. Thank you.
Question.
Yeah.
So March Meltdown.
Okay, you're complicating things. No, the free group is called March Into Me, which you came up with the name.
Into Me, yes.
Yes.
Okay. And
Okay.
March Meltdown.
March Meltdown is the actual challenge group name.
Right. Okay. That's what I thought.
March Meltdown, they've paid to get in.
Right.
March
I know.
Into Me, there's no payment.
Okay. Stop yelling at me.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying,
So,
don't complicate it.
here's something I was going to post. Because I have a weird I have before and after when I did it when I was 50. So I have a before, like when I was 49 and in Vegas and wasn't into this at all. And then I have the after when I did 2 challenge groups, 2 21-day fix programs or something like that. And I had an after that I took at She Talks in 2015. Then I remained relatively consistent. And then when I left Beachbody, because I had to, as you well know, and then came back onto your team, I kind of fell off again. And I almost want to show, so I have before pictures of that, and then I have my current, which is another after. What do you, or do
I think you do 2 different posts. I think that's 2 separate ones. I think you do your before one, like your original before and your original Beachbody transformation, right? And then you do your before now and your transformation now. And the other thing you could do is like, the third one could be your original before and your final after. So you could have 3 different ones, but because it's 3 different stories. The first one was, you know, and you can put that all in your post. You can post more than 1 picture. My post today, I put up 6 photos. So it's not like, because you're looking for women to join, like copy the text I used in my post today. I copied it from Christina.
Yeah.
Right. And I tweaked one thing because I really feel like talking about the sustainability and how easy and simple it is to fit in, right?
Yeah, that keywords are simple and convenient workouts, and life, not just workouts, but like healthy lifestyle, simple, convenient, because that's what it's given me for sure. Yeah.
Right. So you come up with 3 different transformation pictures, talk about the years that it happened, you know, photo 1, this was my original transformation when I did 2 rounds of this amazing fitness program that we have. And I actually got back into my journey. Photo 2, I fell off. Life happened, right? This is my second transformation. And photo 3 is from start to finish, and how you're focusing on your overall wellness. And then that's when you would tie it in with your dad, and how, you know, you want to be able to go up and down stairs until you're 110, and, you know, like all of those things.
Get off there.
Right?
My dog.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would definitely do. 3 different pictures, because there's kind of 3 different stories there. And you can really touch on how life happens to all of us. So.
Yeah, I think it's really important, Margot, that you share your whole story, because there's people that I've been talking to and they're like, oh, I've been sick and I feel like I'm always starting over. And like, you know, I feel like I'm never getting anywhere. Well, those are the people that you're going to touch with that story, is the fact that, you know, they're not the only ones that have to start over sometimes.
Yeah. And I think that one of the things too with this is it's shown you that you know how you want to feel, right? And you've learned what it feels to fall off, and that your intention now is to, whatever life brings your way, your wellness will always be a priority, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that we work out every single day of the week, but it means that when life happens, maybe you're focusing on hydration and nutrition, you know, and squeezing in a run when you can, like those sorts of things. But you've learned now that going back to that prior does not serve you. Good. Hi, Brittany. Nice to see you. Love the hair.
Thank
Looks
you.
awesome. Looks awesome. So cool. Are we good? Yes.
Good.
All right. Beautiful team. It was wonderful to chat, and we will be in touch over the different chats. Have a fantastic Sunday. Go do a call to action, because today is an incredibly powerful day to do a call to action, right? Incredibly. So we love you.
Bye.
Bye.